Graduate route, you might hear about this a few months ago. So that's previous called post-study work. That's basically for any students, they graduate in the UK and they can automatically get a kind of like working visa. So this kind of working visa, you can work in any kind of job. There's no restriction at all. The only requirement is your degree. If the students got a degree from the UK university, they can directly apply for the graduate route. And there's no need for their maintenance and no need for their financial. For the postgraduate visa, which is graduate route here, and for the students graduate from bachelor degree or master degree, it will be 2 years. And the PhD degree will be 3 years. Please note that's only one of application, which means if the students graduated from the bachelor degree, they enjoy their 2 years graduate visa, working visa, they cannot apply again when they finish their master degree. So that's only a one-off application. PSW visa cannot extend, but it can be switched to any type of other visa. And also the IHS fees, which is medical insurance fees, is a little bit higher. It's £624 per year. The reason is this is a kind of like a working visa. So for working visa, the UKV, I believe you earn some money. So that's why the medical fees is a little bit higher. Again, I want to point it out, the most important part is the dependent here. The graduate visa can bring their dependent, but it's only when they bring their dependent during their study visa, which means that's mainly for the postgraduate student. They can bring their dependent to the postgraduate graduate. They can bring their dependent to come into the UK if they have already got the postgraduate dependent visa. And because obviously the undergraduate, they cannot bring their dependent to come into the UK. So that's something you need to be careful. If the student hasn't got dependent during their study, they cannot apply for the dependent for the PSW. Apart from this, I think it's very clear. And for all the work they can do, and there's no restriction, no time limit, no restriction for the work, no restriction for the length. So basically, anything they can find a job and they can go for the job. For coming to the work, so quite a lot of students will be interesting because for the working visa, after 5 years, they can apply for the settlement in the UK, which is a green card in the USA. So for the working visa, it hasn't been affected yet, but it will be affected around January next year when the UK officially leave the European country BRICS. So in that time, the working visa might be happen, but anyway, we do have the pre-arrangement for the working visa, which is they will move from the tier two to come into to work. So tier two used to be asking for 95 points, but the new working visa system is only asking for 70 points. That will including the skilled worker or skilled worker health and care visa. The difference between these two, the skilled worker is a general visa, while the skilled worker health and a care visa is mainly for the person who working in the hospital as a doctor, as a nurse, and also who working in the care home as a carer. For the skilled worker health and care visa, it will be a discount for their visa fees, and they do not need to pay the IHS fees. For the working visa, the IHS fees will be £624 per year. And apart from these two mainly type, for the UKVI, they also introduce a new types of visa, which is global talent. It's mainly for the students who, well, for not only for students, but for everybody who has an outstanding achievement in their industry. It mainly will be the global achievement. If they have been achieved some global award, they can apply for the global talent. The global talent requirement is only the A level academic background. So it's not necessary for them to go for the degree course, but they need to have some achievement in the industry global wise. Apart from this, startup is very, very popular for the graduate student. That's a kind of like immigration visa. So for the startup visa, there will be 2 years visa. It will be granted to the students who has a very good business plan. When they graduated, it doesn't really matter which kind of industry they are working on, but they want to set up their own business. What they need is handing a very good business plan to their university. And the university might approve their business plan if the business plan is really attractive. So in that case, the university can issue them a kind of a letter, which we call endorsement letter. Once the student has the endorsement letter and they can apply for the startup visa, there will be no fund required, will be no startup fund required. And but the students need to provide they have 945 pounds for last 90 days when they hand in their application. But for the business, there's no need for any fund. And after 2 years, they might be able to switch to innovator visa. In that case, innovator visa, they do ask him for the startup fund, which is £50,000 for investment to your new business. 50,000 pounds. So once the money has been invested, plus the endorsement letter from either the university or outside of the organization. There are about 27 organizations around the UK has this kind of endorsement, become the endorsement body who can issue the endorsement letter to the person who apply for the innovator visa. So after 3 years of the innovator visa, they can apply for the settlement in the UK. The innovator visa, they do need a startup fund, which is £50,000. Both of them, both startup and innovator visa, they do need an approve by the endorsement body. If from the university as a startup, and well, if you are using the startup visa, you need to get an endorsement letter from the university. If you go for the innovator visa, you need to get an endorsement letter from the 27 organizations in the UK. So here is the details of the working visa. As I just mentioned, they asking for 70 points. Basically, the upper 50 points is from the employer. The employer need to be approved by the UKVI. So they need to be qualified sponsor to sponsor this job. And the job level usually will be the management level or whatever you are working on. It either be something like development manager or things like sales manager. So usually will be a management level plus the English. If you got enough English score, it should be the UKVILs or you graduated from a degree level in the UK. So this 50 points mainly is from the employer, as long as you got a course, which is confirmation of sponsor. That's for the working visa. As long as you got a course, you usually get this 50 points. Apart from these 50 points, you need another 20 points, which is usually will be a salary at least £25,600. You can automatically got these 20 points. Apart from this, you can also get 10 plus 10 points, which is a lower salary but with a higher academic background, PhD degree. So in that case, you can also got these 20 points. As long as you got 70 points in total, you can get the working visa. After 5 years working visa, you can apply for the settlement in the UK. And also, you can also switch the visa in the UK as well. Either switch from the working to working or switch from the working to studying. That's no restriction at all. Apart from the coming to study, coming to work, UKVI also introduced coming to visit. So visitor visa is quite similar as what we are right now, but the only difference is for the visitor visa, and the UKVI has classified all the visitors coming to the UK, even they are holding the tourism visa, they still can study in the UK for up to 6 months. So if anybody coming to the UK holding the visitor visa, they can study in the UK, because used to only 30 days they can study, if I'm not wrong. But now they said you can come into the UK with a visitor visa to study up to 6 months. So that's something about visit. For all types of the visa, UKVI has made it very clearly. Anybody is coming to apply the visa to come to the UK, they need to be clear they don't have any criminal record in their history. And this criminal record is not only in the UK, but also outside of the UK. If there's anybody got a sentence, criminal record, things like that, over 12 months, they will be automatically refused their visa. It doesn't really matter what kind of visa, as long as UK visa, they will be refused. Apart from the point-based system, UKVI has also introduced other immigration route, and I listed here. That's all the immigration route the students, or well, not student, that's the immigration route, and everybody can come to the UK using this kind of route. So apart from that, what I'm going to introduce a little bit more is HKBNO. If there's anybody come from Hong Kong holding the British nationality overseas passport, they can come to the UK without any restriction. They will be automatically get granted 5 years visa to stay in the UK. They can either work or study in the UK. After 5 years, they can apply for the settlement directly. And the representative of overseas business visa is a kind of visa for quite a lot of businessmen they are using. The criteria of this visa is a kind of like the person who working in a global company. They want to set up a branch office in the UK. And this person, they need to be a management level of the company. They should be the decision maker when they are staying in the UK. They need to set up the business in the UK, which is the same as their mother company overseas. In that case, there's no funds, no financial requirement for this kind of person, but they can come into the UK to set up the business. After 5 years, they can apply for the settlement in the UK as well. For investor visa, and that's for the person who want to come into the UK, invest their money to the national debt. The minimum requirement is £2 million. That will become 5 years. After 5 years, they can apply for the settlement. The more you invest, the less time you require. If you can invest £10 million to the UK, you only need 3 years to get the settlement. Apart from this, 7, 10, 20 years, it will be very popular for the students as well. So 7 years is for anybody who get a baby, get a child in the UK. When the child is 7 years old, the parents can apply the settlement with the child in the UK. And 10 years is popular for most of the international students. That means if anybody continues illegally stay in the UK for 10 years, they can apply for the settlement. There are a lot of students in the UK, they started their courses from the GCSE level. So in that case, when they finish their master degree, they already stay in the UK for at least 10 years. So they can easily apply for the settlement in the UK. And 20 years is for somebody continue illegally stay, which is we don't really recommend. Apart from that, family visa, sponsor visa, and all other kind of visa like silent refugee, they all can come into the UK, become legally, and stay here for 5 years. They can get a settlement in the UK. So although UK is not an immigration country, but we can always using quite a lot of way to get a resident permit in the UK. The settlement, and we also in the UK we also call it infinity leave and remain. So basically that means you're still holding your own nationality, but you don't need to apply the visa every time to come into the UK. It will be infinity leave and remain. After 1 year's settlement, you can apply for adult, and in the same time you can apply for the British passport in the UK. The only two conditions when you apply from settlement to the passport is one is the life in the UK test. Second is the English test. So life in the UK test is a set of questions set by the UKVI. They will choosing randomly from nearly 20,000 questionnaires, and they will choosing 50 of them. As long as you can pass 70% of them, which is 35 questions, you can get this qualification life in the UK. The questions is vary. and they will asking you very basic information like when is the Christmas day, and also they will asking the hard question, who is the first king in the UK. So, well, they will have a set of questions. You can always find it from the website. English test, they will usually asking for a B2 level, which is equivalent to IELTS 5.5 and no section lower than 5.5. And apart from that, if anybody they come from English speaking country which is approved by the UKVI, or they graduated from the UK with a degree, the English test will be removed. So that's the new fees. Under the new visa system, you can see there's a slightly increase of all the fees, but not a lot. So for example, like student visa, now it's £348 if you're applying overseas. And that they used to be only £325. So it's a little bit increase, and but not a lot. So do you have any questions so far? Please feel free to type your questions in the chat box. Thank you very much for today. And again, if you do have any questions, please feel free to contact us. And this is all our contact details. And also in the same time, we are going to have a one-to-one consultations in about 20 minutes time. If you do interesting, please just sending us the information, and we can meet up again later. So thank you very much.